church here. Sure, it's just people renting it for soccer. Renting it for soccer.
This is exciting, Ernie. Call to order. Very exciting. My first time with the gavel. All right, we're going to read the public meeting statement. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies, at which time any business affecting their interest is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act and Board of Education Policy 0162, the Board of Education of the Borough of Bound Brook has caused notice of this meeting to be posted in the board office and at the Bound Brook High School, and mailed or faxed to the Courier News, Bound Brook Borough Clerk, South Bound Brook Board of Education, and any person who has requested individual notice and paid the required fee. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Here. She's online.
Here. Ms. Martinez? Here.
She's here.
Ms. Morris?
Here.
Ms. Stevens?
Here.
Ms. Rusamana?
Here.
Mr. Tomaselli?
Here.
Mr. Baudelaire?
Here.
Mr. Zupko?
Here.
And Mr. Fazio? Nine are present.
Okay. So I guess I get to make the president's comments this month. Very quickly, just want to echo everything Michelle says every month. I want to say thank you to, from teachers, administrators, all the way up. Include especially also somebody who doesn't get enough thanks, the support staff, especially custodial, who are, I know they're working their tails off to get everything the way it needs to be. So thank you to everybody in the district who's been working through some really difficult situations. We appreciate you. I know my boys are loving school. They're in, both of them are in and loving it. So I have seen nothing but positive. So thank you to everybody. And also congratulations again, as we say every year, to both basketball teams who, once again, I don't know, they don't lose. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame with our both basketball programs doing as well as they did this year that there's no state playoffs, because I feel as though that both of them would have been in contention for state playoff, state championships, at least sectionals, if not overall. So it's a shame that there were no state playoffs this year for our boys and girls teams. Superintendent's comments. First off, I'd like to mention that Phyllis Hayes, our guidance counselor here at the high school, was named as celebrating Black History Month as one of our Black guidance counselors across the country. Tony, would you like to say a few words on behalf of Phyllis?
Yeah, the National Organization, American School Counselors Association, ASCA, they put out to nominate school counselors in your Black school counselors in your school district that should be recognized. So Phyllis's name and photo were entered, and she was recognized along with many administrators and college professors, many people of many different titles in the counseling profession throughout the country. So she was included in an honor with a lot of great names, and it is on our website. On the district page, you can see the award and Phyllis's picture there.
Yeah, it was a great award for her. So I just wanted to publicly mention that for her. In addition, we have our last trimester, last marking period survey out to parents for in-person instruction. Currently, that survey will end tomorrow. And as of right now, it looks like we have an 8% increase in in-person instruction. For our next board meeting, we will have our first budget presentation for the 21-22 school budget. And I'm happy to report that that budget will include no tax increase for the taxpayers of Bound Brook. I'd also like to mention that it didn't make this agenda, but I did receive it. And I know she's online, so I definitely want to make you all aware of this. And congratulate Sue Del Conte on her retirement after 30 years in the Bound Brook School District. She's been here for a very long time. She's been a valuable staff member to the high school, and she definitely will be sorely missed, but I hope she has a happy and healthy retirement. And my last item, two last items. As of today, we are up to 58 staff members that are in process for vaccinations. As you should be aware that educators have now been green lighted to get the vaccine, so they are open to scheduling vaccines. So we're working that out with our staff members who sign up to make sure that they don't lose time and go get their vaccines. And the last item is for the agenda. Item 6.3 on the agenda is being tabled this evening. So item 6.3 on the agenda is being tabled. With that, I will move on to committee reports. This evening, we had Ed Committee. Camilla, do you want me or Beth to give the synopsis, or do you want to give the synopsis?
I can do it. We are adopting for the next school year Elevate for K through 8 science, which is parallel to the program we're using, Elevate for social studies, and they're both on a similar time frame with our licensing, and that has been determined through consultation with different faculty and piloting and sampling the program this year.
I think you hit mute, Camilla, by accident.
Oh, has anything been said?
Yeah,
No,
we
we heard
heard
everything.
everything about science, and then you must hit mute by accident.
That's really strange. Okay, now I've lost my notes. The next program we'll be piloting or looking at will be for the new math. And we'll go through the same kind of process of sampling some lessons and getting some materials from publishers, and then talking in committees and moving forward with piloting and adopting a program. And then after that, we'll be moving on to math in the spring of 2022. So all of our curriculum is kind of like a 5-6 year cycle, and we're moving forward with all of this right now in spite of the difficulties of this year. And there have been purchases for guided reading that has been requested by the teachers that hopefully will help with our reading scores. We can put those into practice this summer, and then they'll be adopted throughout the upcoming year. We had a report on the extended school year. Obviously, we're going to have a very robust summer school. There's going to be Lincoln at the end of the school year that's going to determine which the students are in the yellow or the red zone, and whether or not we are going to, they're going to be requested to attend summer school. We're going to have numerous sessions. A really, good amount of teachers have volunteered to work over the summer, and that's really, I appreciate that greatly. But hopefully we're going to have to roll up our sleeves and get caught up in whatever the level we are, whatever kind of student we're going to have to work and focus on getting up to speed after what's been a really difficult year. There's going to be a number of positions that for teaching and otherwise that we'll be hiring, and more Google PD offerings that are well received by the teachers, that have been seen as useful, and there's still some programs people need to learn, so we'll continue with PDs from Google. And that's what I have for my notes.
Okay, great. And then we had a governance committee where we went over a number of items of either privacy or negotiating items. So we cannot discuss those in public. So we are open to the public for agenda items only. I have no comments online.
No?
Okay, seeing none, Mike?
Okay, then we move on to 5.1, approval of the minutes. Resolved, Bound Board of Education approves the minutes for the following meetings. Minutes of February 22nd. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Is there
Anybody
any-
have to abstain?
I do.
Is that Joanna?
Joanna? Ms. Munson has to abstain.
Noted.
Yeah,
It's been noted.
Joanna. Yes.
Okay, you get a roll call
Mr. Ball,
then. Yes.
Ms. Martinez,
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Guzmano,
Yes.
Mr. Tomaselli,
Yes.
Mr. Badalare,
Yes.
and Mr. Zuckerman.
Yep.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to 6.1. Resolved, the superintendent recommends for approval the resolutions as outlined in personnel resolutions under district and high school. That would be 6.2 through 6.7 with 6.3 being removed. Can I get a motion on those?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I was looking at the extracurricular employment, 6.5, on the salaries.
Yes?
All the varsity coaches, except for one, were at 7,467,000, except for the head baseball coach. He was at 4,647,000. So is there a typo in there, or is the head baseball coach make $200 more than everybody else?
Oh, yeah.
It
Yeah,
looks
the
like
numbers are transposed, yeah.
Transposed. So
Yeah.
one
I
of the
didn't even
numbers
catch
is
that.
right, one of them is wrong. So-
Yeah, I can go back and check on that. I don't have that off the top of my head. Obviously, that is part of part of the contract, so.
No, it's part of the, yeah,
It's easy,
set.
it's easy to find out. I'm gonna assume that somebody transposed the numbers incorrectly.
So are these, because if we approve them and they're supposed to be at the higher amount, then we're gonna have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be something that we correct
Okay.
later.
Okay, or if
We
we,
flip those numbers. I don't have a contract in front of me, so I can't tell you what the rate number is to fix the rate this second.
do we want
Yeah, do we have to remove that then?
to, do we want to?
It's supposed to be 7,467.
How much is it?
7,467.
467. So
467.
Okay,
467.
So then,
So if we could amend that number to 7467
it's only for one coach, coach
Baseball.
reporter.
for baseball. So if we could amend that to 7, what was it, Lauren?
7467.
Right.
All the other varsity coaches are at 7,467.
Yeah, so if we could amend that. Okay, that's amended,
Cool,
Good
okay?
catch.
thank you.
Anybody else?
I just have to abstain from 6.5, 6.6, and 6.4.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Anybody else? All right, roll call?
Mr. Ball,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Ms. Munson? Joanna? Yes, she's a yes.
Ms. Martinez,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Guzmano,
Yes.
Mr. Tomaselli,
Yes.
Mr. Badalare,
Yes.
and Mr. Zuckerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, move to 7.1. Resolve, the superintendent recommends for approval the resolutions as outlined in personnel resolutions under middle and elementary schools. That would be 7.2 through 7.7. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Catherine? right, discussion? Is that somebody on the line? No discussion? All right, roll call?
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Mussin?
Joanna?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Rusomano?
Yes.
She said yes.
Yes.
Mr. Thomaselli?
Yes.
Mr. Valera?
Abstain.
And Mrs. Updike?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay, I guess I'm done.
Okay, 8.1, resolve the Bound Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in education resolutions under district and high school 8.2 and 8.3. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
And any questions?
Is this just for sophomores? Or is this for freshmen? For
For the assembly?
the, yeah,
For her physical education.
Did it say?
it just says the teacher, I just
Yeah.
don't know if she is.
I'm gonna say it's just for the move over law. I'm probably gonna say it's just for driver's ed,
Okay.
so sophomore.
And I think 8.3 is the same way. It's
Yeah.
share the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's started.
No problem.
Do we know if the Share the Keys program will be available in Spanish?
I do not believe, or is that the one for the parents? There's two parts to that. There's one for the kids and one for the
Yes.
parents.
The shared keys is for the parents.
I can get back to you on that. I don't know. I know in the past we have, but I can get back to you on that.
Anybody else? All right, roll call?
Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Ms. Mussin?
Joanna?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Rusomano?
Yes.
Mr. Thomaselli?
Yes.
Mr. Valera?
Yes.
And Mr. Zucker?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to 9.1, resolve the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in policy resolutions under district and high school, which is just 9.2. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
We
Second.
got two.
Second.
All right. Discussion? Nobody? All right, then roll call.
Mr. Bale?
Yes?
Ms. Mussin?
Joanna?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Ms. Stevens?
Yes.
Ms. Rusomano?
Yes.
Mr. Thomaselli?
Yes.
Mr. Valera?
Yes.
And Mr. Zucker?
Yes.
Okay. 10.1, resolve the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in financial resolutions 10.2 all the way to 10.13. I have a motion
Motion.
and a second.
Second.
Discussion.
I just have to abstain from check 37603 and then 10.12 and 10.13.
Noted.
Anybody else?
Could you explain 10.7 a little bit more, the semi-corrective action plan? I'm not sure I fully grasped what that was in reference to.
Yeah, so SEMI is a medical reimbursement that we're supposed to get for special ed kids who receive certain types of services. So what happens is, we're supposed to submit reimbursements and we're supposed to get a certain percentage back, and then the state tells us that we're supposed to hit a certain mark. And I think this year it might have been like 95% reimbursement rate, and we didn't hit that 95% reimbursement rate. So So therefore, we have to do a corrective action plan. We always end up on a corrective action plan because a lot of this is predicated on the outsourced kids that are going out to private or outsourced school districts, private districts, who don't always give us all the proper paperwork that we need to get reimbursed. And they kind of don't really help us get reimbursed because why would they? Because they're already getting paid from us, and why would they do the extra work to help us recoup any money? So it's kind of like a catch-22, but we do try and work on that as best we can, trying to get recoup our money on that, but it always seems to be a problem.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, roll call.
Bill,
Yes.
Ms. Musson,
Yes.
Ms. Martinez,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens,
Yes.
Ms. Guzmano,
Yes.
Mr. Thomaselli,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
and Mr. Zucker.
Yes.
Okay, with that we come to any other matters to come before the board? New business, anything?
Anything on comments? Anything from the-
Well, this is for you guys. This is
Yeah, this is for-
business for you guys.
Were the numbers what you expected for from the state?
No, love it. If they fully funded S2, I would expect the numbers to be slightly higher. They also, and I went through this morning on a call I had with people on the state. I don't know where they came up with our enrollment numbers, but they shorted us on our enrollment numbers from almost about 100 kids. So our October 15 number had us at about 1,779 kids. They came in number like 16 something, which puts us almost all the way back around 2008 maybe in terms of enrollment. So I mean, I have no idea where they came up with that number. So I did ask a few people to double check that number because it does hurt us. Number one, it hurts us on straight enrollment, but it also hurts us when you go into compounding factors because there's weighted numbers after that. Because if you're an ESL student, then it's like you get 1 plus 0.25, or if you're free and reduced student, it's another 0.25, or if you're a special ed student, it's another 0.25. So there's some weighted factors to the financing piece. So part of their algorithm is, depending on where you fall in certain groups, obviously you get more than just, a 1, you actually get more. So it does factor in quite a bit to us, and we weren't the only district. I know it affected Manville, because me and Bob Mears went over that extensively when the numbers came out the day it came out. And I also know North Plainfield, it affected them. So there's a number of districts it did affect, so we're all kind of in the same boat trying to find out where the explanation is for this one, because again, we don't want to complain too much, obviously, because we did get money. But at the same point in time, we just want to know, how did they come up with the number? Because moving forward, it's going to hurt us moving forward because our free and reduced lunch numbers are down considerably.
Well, so are ours, because I heard it's statewide they're down because no one is filling out the form because they're
Because
getting
it went to the summer food program, so everybody's number's down. So it's not affecting you this year, but next year it's going to affect us tremendously. So again, we're asking a lot of questions about that because again, you're talking about when you're 70% free and reduced lunch, and right now I think we're 55, 56% on state aid. That's a big difference in your state aid calculation for next year. So we're asking the right questions. We're waiting for answers. We probably won't get those answers until the budget's completely done, signed, finalized, or whatever. But we'll wait and see.
And I just wanted to, you can maybe let people know, I know you had said we're up about 8% on in-person students.
Yes.
How's that going to affect us, our ability to stay with what we're doing now? If we were to stay right at the 8%, because I know we have people are probably filling it out tonight at midnight.
I would say it really depends on the building. I would say like the high school probably wouldn't hurt the high school all that much. Just knowing where they're at, I think Lafayette could be a problem. Smalley potentially could be a problem. I think the difference between Lafayette and Smalley is Smalley has more classrooms, so we could break up classrooms. Lafayette doesn't have classrooms to really break up into, so I think Lafayette may be a little bit different story. Same thing in community. I don't know where community's at in terms of how many classrooms they're utilizing. If they have extra space, we got to break up a couple classrooms. But again, they were briefed on this. We're waiting for the total tallies. I told them not to panic. I told the principals not to dive into this and start making 10,000 different plans either. I wanted to wait until we got the numbers and then we sit down with the data that we have. Then we make decisions based upon the data that we have. I don't want them stressing out over this because obviously over the summer and as the market periods went on, there was a lot of stress involved with the principals and the administrators trying to figure out how to make certain things work. And, I'd rather wait for the data to make sure we have accurate numbers and then make educated decisions based upon that data.
You guys got that? Don't stress out. It's just that easy.
No, it's not.
Just don't worry about it. Everything's gonna work out.
Didn't say that. Again, I forewarn everybody, whether it becomes a split day issue, a B day issue, I can't tell you that until we sit down with the numbers and take a look at it. Until we do it.
Yeah. Yep. All right, anything else? All right, I think with that, we are open to the public for discussion. Agenda and non-agenda items.
Hi.
Hi.
Erica Clark, principal of Lafayette. Do I need to give my address? Is this on? I don't think so.
There you go.
All right. So this morning, Dr. Gallagher emailed the building administrators asking us to create a rotational list or a list that will allow teachers to eat in a room by themselves. Upon explaining that to my staff and also getting some information, because even though some did fill out the form for travel and were approved, some do stay in the building because parents or through INRS or retention meetings, it was recommended that remediation be in person for some students. So even though some staff are allowed to go home, some do choose to stay. So there are some questions that were asked by staff that I do not want to assume, so I'm just looking for clarification. So since staff are being asked to eat in rooms alone, are they and me to assume that coffee drinks, water breaks, whatever the case might be, a quick snack when the students are at special, keeping in mind that at lower elementary levels, all of the classrooms have co-teachers. I have one classroom that has up to 4 adults because it's a self-contained class. So is that not permitted going forward, even with maintaining 6 feet of social distancing?
I'd have to ask the doctors. I don't have an answer. Do you want me to ask the doctors and get clarification?
I think we need an answer there, so
Okay.
that would make sense.
And then also, will we continue going forward with mask breaks for students as well?
Yeah, I would definitely stop that. That would be my advice to you, is to stop that. But you as a board make that decision.
Can you repeat that? It was a little hard to hear.
Mask breaks.
Mask
for
breaks.
students.
For students.
How often are they happening now?
It really varies across the classroom. I know some teachers have taken it, even though it's been kind of cold out the past couple of weeks, they've taken the kids back outside to get some fresh air. The comfort level of each classroom is different. I know when we met for the restart committee over the summer, we said once a day for a few minutes. The children do stay in their seats. If they're outside, they're still maintaining social distancing. But again, just with this new lunch procedure, I know that there were some questions that needed to be answered.
I think it's still based on your.
Yeah,
But
I think
the kids most of them are pretty good now, right? In September, we weren't sure how everybody would feel about their masks on. I know in my school, there's no mask.
The kids have been
It's outside.
amazing.
Yeah, snack and snack is eaten outside.
Yeah, the kids.
Even though you're pretty cold. But I would think that you would, you want to limit, especially now as numbers are going up. Numbers of students are going up. I would say to limit those types of breaks if possible.
Yeah. On the other hand, just to play devil's advocate, it's a long day.
I know.
It's a long day with a mask on. Even though they're there half a day till whatever it is, 12, whatever, that's a long time. I know it just happens, it's weird that this just happened last week. One of mine came home and was like, wow, we hardly got a break today, and I was so thirsty and I needed a drink. And, you know, I know the policy, like, obviously, I know, I understand, but at the same time, like, you know, he's 4 and it was hard to hear him,
And
you
they
know.
have PA, you know.
Yeah,
they're doing all
I
these
know.
active things, so.
I hate to even say this because it's like so cliche, but my answer is always like, there's no good answer, right? Like there's no right, there's no, either on either side, you're wrong, right? So I don't know. I mean,
Well, when there is a positive case, right, and they're contact tracing and all of that, these are the types of questions that are asked.
Yeah.
So, you know, whether it's through the doctor or whatever the case might be, I think it needs to be like a clear and consistent message that all of the administrators, you know, we're all on the same page, staff and everybody.
I would think with the weather getting warmer, like if they're able to go outside for like a couple minute break, that would probably be like the best option. But I mean,
that's true too, yeah.
it's getting warmer, so at least there's that.
My 2 cents, and with respect to everybody here, I think maybe we should get some medical guidance, because no one here, to my knowledge, is a physician, especially me.
Fair point. Fair point.
So I just want to make sure that the administration is getting the right answer from the right person, that's all. And I think that would then clarify if we have some medical advice in relation to this.
I will add that to the list of questions for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely better than doing it by opinion or emotional decision. We should get the science, you know, follow the science. I think that's.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Joe Santaserma, Principal, Community Middle School. 2 kind of obvious questions. It would seem obvious, but just for clarification, came up with staff today with regard to eating. We have warm weather coming and everyone's itching to get outside a little bit. Staff were asking regarding eating restrictions. We have a gazebo in the back of our school. And even the question of bringing fold-out chairs, if they were to sit in a large circle distance at a certain distance, 6 feet or more. That's question number 1. And then question number 2, the question came up is, what if they were to go out, let's say, to a diner together and be able to eat in that setting off of school grounds? Again, I don't want to make any assumptions of what seems obvious.
If they go outside the school district, that's on them.
That's on them.
We have nothing to do with that. As for the gazebo, I will add that to the questions for the doctor.
Gazebo / fold-out
Yes.
camping chairs. Thank you.
Distance. All right.
See if we can
Thank
add
you.
it on.
Anybody else? Anything online?
Oh, see, there's 3 questions, but he's sitting here.
Or do you want us to read them
Yes, please.
from there?
I'm tonight's reader.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay, this is from Mr. Paxton. Why doesn't the district share its COVID-19 numbers like other districts? It seems like it's a big secret here. For example, the North Hunterdon Voorhees School District has a COVID-19 dashboard on its website, and they alert the stakeholders when there is a change. Old Bridge sends e-letters for each new situation and has current numbers on it. I will give you the letters from Old Bridge so you can see what I mean. I do not recall the last time I received the current numbers in Bamborough. Do I keep going? All right, this is from Mr. Paxton. Why doesn't the district provide more pertinent information regarding COVID positive people? Other districts share more information than Bamborough does. The Old Bridge ones I shared with you state if it was a student or staff member. They have given the time of day and individual experience symptoms. They have stated if they were on a bus, and they have stated if they were involved with a sport or activity. A Bamborough letter from last week says some individuals and does not even state they contacted
the close contacts? Why are other districts able to say more than ours without violating HIPAA? Number 3 is from Mr. Paxson. This is a long one, so bear with me here. When it came to COVID-19, you can say we were very lucky this year. Every time we had a COVID positive person in our school, we had a holiday or snow day before or after and helped prevent the potential spread in our buildings. Unfortunately, our luck ran out last week and we can no longer say COVID-19 was not spread in one of our buildings. But our recent COVID-19 surge may have been preventable. Just like January's Lafayette office quarantine could have been prevented if you allowed people to work from home when the students and teachers were virtual. The Smalley School quarantine may have been preventable if everyone was allowed to leave at lunch. Everyone is being blamed for the Smalley shutdown. Everyone that is being blamed for the Smalley shutdown said they were not allowed to leave at lunch and they were kicked out of their rooms for the after-school program. If these people were allowed to leave at lunch, they would not have been in the building and would not have been in the same room as another human being, and there would have been little to no chance to share the same air. A few weeks ago, there were over 20 letters read at a BOE meeting, and they informed you of their fears. Unfortunately, their fears were not fully heard or understood at that time. I hope you are listening now and aware of what just happened last week at Smalley, as it could have been worse, as I was made aware of teachers that see every student in one building 30 at a time, and was forced to be with teachers who travel and see every student in another building. Since they were denied the ability to leave at lunch, they could have potentially spread COVID-19 to other teachers and other buildings. We realized this could happen when the Lamont Annex building went virtual in the fall, but nothing has changed since then. At a previous board meeting, it was stated how you can help improve our mental health, and I did not have an answer at that time. I have a response now. Top disciplining us for sitting in a room 20 feet apart from another human with masks on. If sitting 20 feet apart is a concern for the district, maybe we should consider going all virtual. Don't make us eat lunch in solitary confinement, and don't write us up for following CDC and district rules. I am hoping that you will reconsider your decision to restrict everyone from leaving school at lunch and also allow people to work from home if they are able to. Below are some comments that may help you decide to change your mind. Request to change the solitary confinement policy to the staff protection policy. We were informed the BOE could not grant everyone the ability to leave at lunch and finish their day remotely because you did not want to alter the parents' schedules. Hopefully this will provide the information needed to allow everyone, even secretaries, aides, guidance counselors, nurses, CSTs, etc., to leave at lunch to avoid the issue of more than one human in a room at a time after the students leave. Number 1, I imagine a building going virtual for 14 days would be a bigger disruption to a parent's schedule than having their kids' remediation period start a few minutes later. Number 2, after school programs use many rooms and displace many people. This forces them to find another room to eat their lunch and finish their day. Where should they go? Number 3, many people have a co-teacher aide or a student teacher. Where should they go? Number 4, many people share a room or office space all day. Where should they go? Number 5, some of my students log in later than the assigned time between walking home, getting dropped off by Jay Perez or a district bus, and having to rush to eat lunch and log in. Maybe the parents would welcome a 1:30 or 1:40 start time for remediation. Number 6, CMS students tend to log in later in the time period towards 2 o'clock on a normal day. They may also welcome a later time. Number 7, remediation times and scheduling are consistently changing due to academic needs, family needs, and the monthly break to test the kids for Linkit and report cards. Based on the testing, our schedules change for the next few weeks. We can survey parents to see who is able to take a later time if we can't make it home to eat and start by 1:20. Number 8, we are 2 buildings worth of students, of adults and kids in one building. Some rooms have 3 to 4 adults during the day. We have aftercare in the gym after school. There are 2 empty rooms in our building that get used to quarantine classes when needed. Every room has a minimum of 2 adults. So where are we supposed to eat if we aren't allowed to eat in the same room with our co-teachers? Number 9, CMS, we have teachers without classrooms or a desk. Where are they supposed to eat? Insight workers utilize the staff room, so we cannot go in there. Number 10, remediation time at the elementary level is 1:20 to 2:40 p.m. However, students are not scheduled to meet with the teacher the whole period. The teacher schedules remediation specifically with the students at a set time, whether they meet in a group or individually. The other times, the students are not in a meet with the teacher. They are expected to be on a learning website, Smarty Ants, Epic, Spelling City, etc. This interaction is self-guided, so the students can always get on at 1:20 and log into their learning website. It would be the teacher's responsibility to schedule an appropriate start time for their meets. Number 11, how many teachers were denied the ability to leave at lunch? Are we talking about a lot or a little? Number 12, can the CST and classroom aides also be allowed to remediate at home so that this will free up space in the buildings?
So I don't know if everyone knows what happened last week. Teachers were reprimanded because they were in a room 20 feet apart. Now, we are not allowed to be in a room with another human and eat lunch. So the question before, can teachers allow mask breaks? The answer is no. If students can't take a mask off, if teachers can't take a mask off and be in a room with another human, then it's probably not a good idea for students to be in a room with a mask off. The question was, can students have a snack or drink? The answer is no. If teachers can't do it 20 feet apart, then it's probably better that the students don't do it either. That's what this is from. We don't want to be in solitary confinement. Teachers look forward to going to school, to being in the building with their colleagues. And now they don't have that opportunity. We ask that you take another look at the leave at lunch policy and allow more, if not all, that have that opportunity to work from home. Thank you.
You want to address any of that? Okay, then. You want me to mention? Yes? The only one that I'm, fairly, able to speak on is the letters that go out. I don't know what every district does in the state, but I do know that the letter that we use here is a template given to us by the Department of Health. I mean, I have it right here. It's right off their website. We just plug in, what school they're from and et cetera. So this is kind of a form letter. It's not something that the district made up in any way.
Do you think that some individuals is very informative? Would it be more informative if it said a student, staff?
Why does that make a difference?
That was gonna be, why?
What's up?
Why does that make a difference?
Because it allows the reader to have a better understanding of what's going on. What's the harm in saving a student, staff, or other? It doesn't violate any HIPAA rule or law. When we get these letters, we have absolutely no idea what's going on.
We are an extremely small school district. Old Ridge is a very large school district. So again, by process of elimination, if we said a teacher at community school, there's not that many teachers. So if teacher X was out, everybody would know that teacher X had COVID based upon a letter. That would be a violation of HIPAA. So again, that's why we do what we do. We have to put protections in.
Okay.
So we're following the guidance that's been given to us. We're a small school district.
Okay. And what about providing us with weekly information about the numbers?
Okay, again, I'm giving you letters every time that's going
But it
out.
doesn't give us the totals. How come other districts can give totals?
Several do have.
But if you have a letter for each one, can't you just count the letters?
Well, I showed you the Old Ridge one, they give a running list. The North London, the Voorhees district has a, what do you call it?
What's the purpose of it?
The dashboard. So the districts have a running total, why can't we?
What would be the purpose of that? What good is that information?
I guess my question is, how does that, what difference does that make versus here's a stack of letters, just count? You know, you're getting the same information in a different way. I mean, I don't see.
We're not
I don't
getting the information. We're not getting a letter every time there's a situation. So you can't count the letters because we're not getting a letter every time there's a case.
Is that true? Are we?
You're getting a letter every time there's
That's
a case
different-
because
that's a whole
Karen
different
is
thing.
sending it out. And she's sending it to the staff. That was something the board requested, and that's what's been happening.
Yeah, that's a whole different issue if they're not getting letters. I mean,
I mean, having a dashboard, I don't think changes, you know, what.
Yeah.
If it makes that,
it makes, yeah.
if it makes it more transparent, then that's.
With the dashboard situation, so.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Lizette.
Yeah, so with the dashboard, what I was thinking is, I know that, you know, the state of New Jersey, you know, posts numbers pretty consistently on like Instagram or Twitter. And for me, I remember when that first started happening, just getting a lot of panic, seeing the numbers growing. And then reaching a point where I was desensitized and like it didn't even really matter what the numbers were because I had been overwhelmed already. So I don't even look at them anymore.
Anybody else have a
I'll
strong
say
feeling one
so.
way or the other?
South Comfort with the letters is the exact same thing. We are not able to provide wide close because of how small we are. We already have situations where if classrooms have to go virtual, that everyone knows what the person had it already. And it's literally just a matter of seconds. The only difference is that there's more buildings here that can do it. They're not as big, but it spreads fast, news.
I think for transparency, if the numbers,
I mean, let me
I mean,
ask
the
you.
numbers are facts, they're just facts, it's not made up.
Where would we have this running list? Where would we put that?
That's like from my district. So
Where is
they
this? This is
just-
on your district website?
It's under the COVID tab, and it's called the dashboard. And then they just update it once a month. And they give you that monthly total. It doesn't separate out teachers and students. It's just monthly total of positive, quarantine, and then historical where they add it up. So it has them. You know.
It's only
like it's
updated
facts.
monthly?
What's that?
It's only updated monthly.
Monthly.
Yeah, and my
I mean, the
district,
facts are the facts. I mean, it's not like it's a hidden number.
my district has something similar on theirs as well.
And obviously Scotch Plains is much bigger, but.
Right.
I mean, every example is from districts that are dwarf us. And,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, Piscataway, Scotch
Right.
Plain, Old Bridge has 6,000 students in it.
Yeah.
You know, North London.
It says mine's updated every day at 3. Wow.
These are, you know, North London is a campus.
I shouldn't say this one.
Mhm. I mean, how much more work does it take to put that together? If it's gonna stop this, you know, back and forth? That's the question, like what's,
You know the answer to that. No.
I don't have a problem with a running tally myself, but I don't know. I also don't speak for the whole board, so, you know, you guys.
My only concern is when you start putting things out, people misinterpret the information. They make assumptions and it creates more havoc. You have to be prepared for that.
But if facts are.
That's what I was,
facts,
like, how would you say they misinterpret the numbers? Like, if you just put just numbers on the screen, this is how many. How could that be I'm trying to understand, how would that be misinterpreted?
I almost feel like you get the letters, you almost overcount just from the letters. You know what I mean? Like when you get the letter, you just become, you're making up a number in your head, so then that could work me up just as easily as just seeing that 11 people tested positive in the past month. So I don't know,
I mean,
I'm for being
we've got all
transparent and
data,
having
right?
I have the
the facts out there.
So
but-
you know what, once a month, we put it on,
Easily do that.
Once a month?
you know,
Get on a-
and alleviate.
On a compromise, a letter for each one, and then at the end of the month, we tally them up?
I mean, you just said it's got to wait updates at 3:00 every day.
Okay, I mean.
Here, I will verify mine.
There we go.
They break it down by month. I don't know, I have not checked every day. They break it down, they have it monthly,
Yeah.
and then I don't know that means.
I mean, monthly's better than nothing.
That's what I'm saying, can we compromise, meet in the middle here and
Yeah.
say monthly's better than nothing?
Better
And
than we have now, so, yeah.
yeah, I'm all for compromise.
Yeah, and then,
And that's data that already exists, so you can see that the numbers are not, because the letters make you feel like it's happening more, but if you saw actual numbers,
It's just gonna be numbers, so you're not gonna see a difference between students and teachers.
No,
You're not
just
gonna-
like-
He's gonna have a number.
so
This
it's
is how many
it's
positives there
positive
were.
and quarantine.
This is how many quarantines
Positive,
there were.
quarantine, and then
and then a running total.
and
And a running total for
There we
daily.
go,
And I would do it on the first of the month.
okay.
And there's a whole list of,
Will there be a disclaimer or something letting people know how many people, tested in the district and like there was, transmit in school versus, they just got it at their house? I do think that's
We can't really know that.
I see, that's the thing, I can't,
That's how we got in school.
see, that's the thing, I can't start getting into all of that.
No, there's nothing the letter already tells you that, whether or not there was contact tracing. That's where the letter covers that. This is just a total. This is just a total. And these are all questions that somebody could call and ask you anyway. Right?
Yes.
These are questions that people could call and ask you, so you might as well put the information out there and answer the questions truthfully so that we're transparent.
I'm not trying to hide it.
That's what I mean. Like, if we're not trying, and we're not.
I've not hit a.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. So if these are questions that somebody could have asked anyway. So putting the information out there is not going to.
I mean, this isn't going away anytime soon, so this is maybe part of the new normal. So this, we'll put it out there once a month, we'll update it. And it's a starting point.
They were getting this monthly up until December.
Okay.
And
And
then we went to the letters,
that
right?
wasn't enough information, then I had to send letters.
Now,
So again,
this letter,
this is a constant changing battle of information. It's never enough. There's always a change, there's always more, there's always something.
I
So,
think it's just a
I just-
combination of.
I just
of
want
the
it.
vote.
I just
It's
want
not a
to
hardship
settle
for
on
anybody to
something.
put it there.
Because I have people who are doing this, who are putting in a tremendous amount of time doing this work, working 24/7 basically. They're working weekends, they're doing all sorts of stuff. They're not getting a break. Understand, these are the people who do this.
But this is information we already have that's just being put in one other place. It's not new information. This is not new, collecting anything new. This is information we already have being put on our website. That's it.
Right.
In addition to the letters serve a purpose and so does this. I think it's just a tandem thing that needs to happen.
I think that the slippery slope, it's gonna get ugly and we're a small district. And it's gonna create more panic for all sets of security and this is not going to end well. Our numbers are there, you have to look at them on the state site. I don't want to see another COVID dashboard. Like Liz has said, it's overload. We're being transparent. We know.
It's not getting sent to you.
I think this is just another thing we're gonna have to deal with, and like somebody said, I couldn't hear. It's not going to end anytime soon. At what point do we stop?
When people feel safe.
I think we all have enough on our plates to worry about numbers in the district. Further than what we're already doing.
Yeah, I don't know, Charity, I'm with you. I think if the numbers exist, we know what they are. We're just gonna put them on a website. Whether people panic or not, these are the numbers. This is the truth. We're not making anything up to sensationalize anything. These are the numbers that exist. If it was 5, it was 5, and it was 500, it was 500. Those are the numbers. And if they're big, then people should panic. If they're small, then people should feel good about it.
But that information is already out there.
Well,
But we're gonna make it just more accessible, just easier to find.
Well, that was the question. I mean, if someone wanted to find out, and I hear what you're saying, I do, on Charity. If someone wanted to find out, then the information is on the state website. So what I'm hearing you say is that in order to make it easier to access, to put it on our website. But like to Joanna's point, the question that needs to be raised is because we're such a small district, would that, and I think that needs to be really considered, would that, and to whose advantage is that to have it there? Is it to the community at large? Would the community look at that and understand, or would they become more panicked? I think that's something that we need to think about and maybe discuss a little bit more in depth instead of just making a rash decision now. That's just my opinion. I hear both points though. I mean, it wouldn't hurt because the numbers are the numbers, but actions have consequences. So I just want to make sure we're putting the right thing up there.
I personally didn't even know that they're on the state website. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Good luck, good.
Yeah, also, I wonder how, we also know that they think we have 100 less kids in our district than we do, so they're clearly not real good at keeping records. I'm just gonna throw that out there. They just shorted us 85 kids, or whatever it is.
Those numbers, Mike, are coming from the county. The COVID numbers are coming from Board of Health. County Board of Health.
The only thing that those numbers don't include would be the teachers in the district unless they live in the town. So the only additional information that they would get if we put the numbers on.
No, I think we have to report it. We have to report it.
Yeah, but I think it goes by their town that they live in.
No, we have to report it to Somerset.
So then people are getting counted twice then?
I don't know if they're getting counted twice, but I know they get reported. I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't. I can't answer that.
A simple compromise would be insert a hyperlink to the state's website on our website, where you can drill down into the data. You can go county, town, district, just insert the link, and the numbers are already there.
Does seem like a one-time fix where you don't require anybody to do any work at that point. Right?
Again,
Then it's just putting a link on
Who's
there.
looking for this? I don't understand who's looking for this information. I mean, is it the teacher, the teacher body? Is it parents?
It's coming from Lauren, so.
Yeah, I understand it's coming from Lauren, but I don't know who exactly you're speaking.
He represents the teachers.
I represent the Unbroken Education.
Okay. And all the teachers want this information on the website?
Yes. Well, no, it doesn't have to be on the website. If it was on the letters like Old Bridge does, where it's
Stop, please compare us to someone that's equal to our size. Old Bridge has 6,000 students.
Right, and on a piece of paper, they have the totals on the bottom. If you share it with Mr. Tomaselli, it's just so it's like the dashboard, but on paper. So every time there's a new letter, the number goes up.
So every one of the teachers that you represent is looking for this information.
Well, I did not take a poll.
Well, you just said, you just said you represent them and.
All it takes is one.
Yeah.
If you
All right,
have the numbers,
so
no
how do
one
we-
share it.
All right, so where are we landing on this so that we can move on? I guess that's the, we have to
Well,
move on at this point.
I think Roger's statement is probably the best one, is we probably should have some further discussion revolving this. It seems like we don't have a consensus from the board on where to land on this. I think, there's a variety of opinions right now. I think the board should probably have a discussion about it before we land on anything. So
Something
that would be my
executive session?
recommendation at the moment. And,
Okay. Do we have anyone else from the public then?
we didn't have any more online that I saw.
Okay.
Okay. There's no content?
And then, executive session, we have to go in under, under 7, 4, 7 and 4.
Okay, and we will not be taking any more action afterwards,
No,
right?
probably, we're not taking any other action after that. We'll probably adjourn from executive session.
Okay, then we need a motion to go to
We
executive.
need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So where is the meeting? Is there another one set up?
No, you're gonna stay right where you are. I'm gonna carry you in.
He's gonna carry you on his back.
Carry you all in. Tom, I need you up here. If we can stop the YouTube now. Guys, thank you. See you. See you.
End it completely?
Yep. Nick, I'll see you. Mark, I'll see you.